G'day and welcome to Australia Zoo, my home. Check out the size of that bloke. Let's go and have a look.
Feeding time at the zoo is much more than just the big saltwater crocs. It's everything from the cutest little furry mammals right up to the massive predators, from the mildest to the wildest.
Wow, have a look at that for a set of jaws. And good teeth too. She's got good teeth. Here's a big piece. The amazing thing with Daisy is not that she's hungry, but that she's got a nest. See this big pile over here? This is her nest. Watch what happens if I go near it. Can I have a look at this nest here? Ooh, I might just have a look in this nest. Female alligators get really protective of their nests, and she thinks I'm going to hurt her eggs. So her job is to come up here and kill me. I see you there, sweetheart. Crikey, she's funny, that girl. Ooh, here's the fang. She's sitting there as still as a rock. And this is the technique that all crocodilians use to get their food. They sit there so still that they're like a piece of the environment. And then as soon as there's any ripples around her head, watch what happens. Whammo! Whack! Hit! Pull it back, kill it, and then swallow it. Here she goes. These alligators are quite well known for their expertise in doing the death roll. Okay, here's a piece. Get it. You got it? Get it. Get hold of it. Here he goes. There's the death roll. Go on, Albert, death roll. Death roll, Albert. Death roll. Death roll, Albert. Death roll, Albert. You know what I find with the alligators is they're quite placid. Their temperament is completely different to the Australian saltwater crocodile. These guys are like, well, a bit like a frog with sharp teeth. They have the capacity to kill and eat someone my size. Really, if ever does it happen. I tell you what, the Australian saltwater crocodile, whack! They hit like a ton of bricks. Yeah.
The almighty power and beauty of the crocodile, captured in slow motion as Charlie launches himself into the air to snatch his food. He's a super dangerous croc with the psychological scars of a cruel past. Crikey, he hits hard. Poor old Charlie. We had to use sheer weight of numbers to rescue him from an awful concrete dungeon where he'd been kept almost all of his life. When we released him back at Australia Zoo's Crocodile Paradise, it was the very first time he'd ever felt grass under his feet. But you can imagine, he still had the psychotic personality that he developed from his torture chamber.
Charlie's just starting to get to a stage where he would be considered as a big bloke. In the world of crocodiles, you don't be a big bloke until you're 12 feet. Watch how big he is when he comes out, though. Woo! Come on, then. Hey. Woo, woo, woo. Did you hear that? They command a lot of respect. If you go up into their territory, never think that you can go swimming even if you can't see them. Here you go. Did you see that? What I'm going to try and demonstrate to you now is how a crocodile can actually launch straight up out of the water and pluck a duck mid-flight. Yeah, mate. Yeah. Come on, buddy.
Charlie is the ultimate predator, and he's so big now that he no longer sees Steve as the guy that brings him food. He sees him as food.
What a dinosaur.
Wham! Have a go at that jaw pressure. He's the ultimate predator, and he means business.
That's a hit.
They get the exercise of the hunt, and they get the pleasure of chasing Steve off their territory. And Australia Zoo visitors learn about crocodiles and conservation through exciting education. And talk about out of the pot and into the fire. Check out these little Tasmanian devils.
You think feeding Charlie was a handful? That's nothing compared to these piranhas. These things can bite. Notice the way when they grab the food, they actually pull back with all four legs. And talk about teeth and jaw pressure. As far as mammals are concerned, these guys have got mighty good jaw pressure. Really good. Hey! That means get out of here in devil language. I'm out. How I love ya, how I love ya. Oh. One thing's for sure. If the food's not good enough for the camels, then it's not good enough for me. What was that? If the food's not good enough for me, then it's not good enough for the camels. Can I come in here? Can I come in here? Woo, let's go!
You know, Steve's #1 passion may be crocodiles, but all the animals love him, and he loves all the animals. Steve's almost a real-life Dr. Dolittle. Have a look at her. Only the camels play like a big dog. Half a ton of big dog. Funny little girls. And there's nothing like a nice kiss.
You're about to meet Monty. He's the original, the very first saltwater croc that my dad, Bob, had in the zoo. And it was Monty that persuaded Dad to retire. Monty caught him on the arm, and Dad decided his reflexes were no longer sharp enough for these amazingly fast predators. I'll do the same one day, when I decide my own reflexes aren't up to scratch. You'll see here that Monty's not attacking as a food response, it's territorial. He wants me right out of his home. And Monty's always been like that. A few years ago, he got hold of a piece of clothing and it smelled human. Good enough to eat. He thought he'd killed it, but it could have killed him. If it got stuck in his throat, it could have cost him his life. What an epic struggle, trying to get it back off him. He had a win, he had a kill, and it was his.
Okay, firstly I'd like to say g'day and welcome into Australia Zoo's Crocodile Environmental Park. I grew up with crocodiles. I didn't have a lot of choice. My dad has always loved Australian reptiles. And here's an animal here, one of my friends. I love this croc. I absolutely adore Monty. There's one big problem with Monty, is he doesn't like me. So when Monty was about 3 feet long, and I was about 3 feet long, we grew up together. Monty is going to try and put him in the water, which is more the case of where a crocodile should actually strike for their food. In the water and at the water's edge. That's where the crocodile is considered as dangerous. Out on land, you can see them. They're very easy, very visible, very easy to stay out of their way. Oh, that's a very gentle boy. That's a good strike. You see his back legs? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Here it is. There's a good boy. See where his back legs are? That's about half the body length of the crocodile. And that's how far they can strike in one big hit.